Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard is under fire for hiding a whistleblower complaint against her in a safe for 8 months. A U.S. intelligence official filed highly classified allegations of wrongdoing against Gabbard last May. The complaint was supposed to reach Congress within 21 days. It took 8 months. Senator Mark Warner says Gabbard tried to bury it. Gabbard is now firing back, calling Warner a liar and claiming she never even had the complaint. One official says disclosing the contents could cause grave damage to national security. Stay with me because we don't know what Gabbard is accused of, why it took so long to reach Congress, or whether she's covering up something massive. What's up, everyone? Marcus Reed here with Senate Decoded, where I break down government scandals and cover-ups that affect national security. Real quick, if you want coverage of whistleblower complaints the government tries to hide, intelligence community scandals involving Trump appointees, and stories about potential threats to national security, hit that subscribe button right now. This Tulsi Gabbard whistleblower story could be explosive. All right, here's what we know. In May 2025, a U.S. intelligence official filed a highly classified whistleblower complaint against Tulsi Gabbard with the intelligence community watchdog. That complaint was locked in a safe for 8 months. It only reached congressional intelligence committees in January 2026. By law, it should have been sent to Congress within 21 days. Senator Mark Warner, senior Democrat on Senate Intelligence Committee, says Gabbard tried to bury the complaint. Gabbard just released a lengthy statement calling Warner a liar, claiming she never possessed the complaint and couldn't have hidden it. But an inspector general says some allegations aren't credible while others haven't been determined yet. I'm breaking down what we know about the complaint, what the law requires, why it took 8 months, what Gabbard and Warner are each claiming, what Republicans are saying, and what this means for national security. Let's get into it. Let's start with the whistleblower complaint itself, because what little we know is deeply concerning. What we know, who filed it. A U.S. intelligence official, name not public. When filed, May 2025, 8 months ago. Who it's against, Tulsi Gabbard, Director of National Intelligence, what it alleges, wrongdoing by Gabbard, specifics classified. Classification level, highly classified, compartmented intelligence. Sensitivity, one official said disclosure could cause grave damage to national security. Status, locked in a safe for 8 months, only recently shared with Congress. That's all we know publicly. What we don't know, we don't know. What specific wrongdoing Gabbard is accused of, whether it relates to leaking classified information, whether it involves improper contact with foreign governments, whether it concerns her role at Trump's direction, whether it's about intelligence operations she oversees, whether it involves abuse of power. The Wall Street Journal broke this story, citing U.S. officials familiar with the complaint. Why the classification matters. The complaint contains highly classified and compartmented intelligence. Compartmented means above top secret. Only certain people with special clearances can access it, involves sensitive sources or methods, could reveal intelligence operations, potential to cause grave damage if disclosed. So whatever Gabbard is accused of involves some of America's most sensitive secrets. The timeline, May 2025. Whistleblower files complaint with Intelligence Community Inspector General May-December 2025. Complaint sits in safe. December 4th, 2025. New Inspector General Chris Fox tells Gabbard she needs to provide security guidance on how to share it with Congress, January 2026. Complaint finally delivered to Gang of 8, congressional intelligence leaders, February 2026. Wall Street Journal reports the story, sparking controversy. That's an 8-month delay. Who has seen the complaint? Based on reporting, the whistleblower, obviously, Intelligence Community Inspector Generals, Biden-era Tamara Johnson and Trump-era Chris Fox, Tulsi Gabbard, admits she reviewed it in December. The Gang of 8, top congressional intelligence leaders from both parties, possibly others in intelligence community. The Gang of 8. The Gang of 8 consists of Senate Majority Leader, Republican, Senate Minority Leader, Democrat, House Speaker, Republican, House Minority Leader, Democrat, Senate Intelligence Committee Chair, Republican, Senate Intelligence Committee, Vice Chair, Democrat, Mark Warner, House Intelligence Committee Chair, Republican, House Intelligence Committee Ranking Member, Democrat. These are the most trusted members on the most sensitive intelligence. Inspector General's assessment, according to the Wall Street Journal, the Inspector General determined some allegations in the complaint are not credible. Other allegations have not yet been determined. This is important. The IG didn't say the entire complaint is bogus. Some parts might be credible. The grave damage warning. One U.S. official told the Journal that disclosing the complaint's contents could cause grave damage to national security. What does that mean? Grave damage is a specific classification term, meaning could reasonably be expected to cause exceptionally grave damage, involves top secret or above information. could compromise critical intelligence sources. Our methods could endanger lives of intelligence officers, could damage relationships with foreign intelligence partners. So whatever is in this complaint is serious. Whether the allegations are true or not, just the subject matter is highly sensitive. Now let's talk about what the law requires, because Senator Warner says Gabbard violated it. The Intelligence Community Whistleblower Protection Act. This law, passed after the Trump-Ukraine whistleblower complaint, which led to Trump's first impeachment, governs how intelligence whistleblower complaints are handled. The process. Step 1. Intelligence Community Employee files complaint with Intelligence Community Inspector General, ICIG. Step 2. ICIG has 14 days to determine if complaint is urgent, relates to serious or flagrant problem, abuse, violation of law. Credible appears to be based on first-hand knowledge or other reliable information. Step 3. If both urgent and credible, ICIG must forward to Director of National Intelligence, DNI. Step 4. DNI has 7 days to forward to Congressional Intelligence Committees. Total timeline, 21 days from filing to Congress. That's the law. Why the 21-day rule exists. Congress wants to know about intelligence community problems immediately because national security threats can't wait. Cover-ups become easier over time. Whistleblowers need protection. Oversight requires timely information. Warner's accusation, Senator Mark Warner says, the law is clear. The complaint was required to be sent to Congress within 21 days of its filing. I think it was an effort to try to bury this whistleblower complaint. Warner's math. Complaint filed, May 2025, should reach Congress, June 2025, 21 days later. Actually reached Congress, January 2026, 8 months later. Delay, 7 months beyond legal requirement. That's Warner's case. Gabbard's defense. Gabbard argues the 21-day rule doesn't apply here because the 21-day requirement that Senator Warner alleges I did not comply with only applies when a complaint is determined by the Inspector General to be both urgent and apparently credible. That was not the case here. Her argument, Inspector General determined complaint was not credible, at least some parts. Therefore, 21-day rule doesn't apply. No legal timeline for sharing non-credible complaints. Who's right? This is the central legal question. Argument for Warner. Even if the IG found some allegations not credible, the IG also said other allegations haven't been determined yet, so the complaint is partially unresolved, which could mean the 21-day rule should still apply. Argument for Gabbard. If the IG determines a complaint is not both urgent and credible, there's no statutory deadline for sharing it with Congress. The DNI has discretion on timing for non-credible complaints. The gray area. The law isn't crystal clear on what happens when a complaint is partially credible. Partially not credible, partially undetermined. That's the ambiguity both sides are exploiting. The political reality. Regardless of the legal technicalities, the optics are terrible for Gabbard. A whistleblower accuses her of wrongdoing. The complaint sits in a safe for 8 months. She only shares it after a new inspector general tells her she has to. Even if technically legal, it looks like a cover-up. Precedent. Remember the Trump-Ukraine whistleblower complaint in 2019. That complaint alleged Trump pressured Ukraine to investigate Biden. Trump's administration initially refused to share it with Congress. Democrats accused Trump of cover-up. The complaint was eventually released, leading to Trump's first impeachment. This situation has similar dynamics. Intelligence official files complaint, senior official accused, Trump then, Gabbard now, delay in sharing with Congress, accusations of cover-up, high stakes for national security. The whistleblower's lawyer has accused Gabbard's office of slow-walking the complaint. Gabbard's office called that accusation baseless and politically motivated, so the whistleblower's own legal representative thinks there was intentional delay. My analysis, even if Gabbard is technically correct that the law doesn't require a 21-day timeline for non-credible complaints, the spirit of whistleblower protection is immediate disclosure to Congress. Waiting 8 months, regardless of legal technicalities, undermines the entire purpose of whistleblower protection laws. Now let's examine Tulsi Gabbard's defense in detail, because she released a lengthy statement on Saturday. Gabbard's statement, Gabbard posted on X, Twitter, Senator Mark Warner and his friends in the propaganda media have repeatedly lied to the American people that I or the ODNI hid a whistleblower complaint in a safe for 8 months. This is a blatant lie. Her core arguments. Argument 1, she never possessed the complaint. I am not now, nor have I ever been in possession or control of the whistleblower's complaint, so I obviously could not have hidden it in a safe. Her claim, the Biden-era Inspector General Tamara Johnson had the complaint, not Gabbard. Argument 2, Inspector Generals are responsible. Biden-era IC. Inspector General Tamara Johnson was in possession of and responsible for securing the complaint for months. Her claim, Johnson kept it in a safe, as required. Then Trump-era IG Chris Fox took over and kept it secure. Argument 3. First saw it in December. The first time I saw the complaint was when I had to review it to provide guidance on how it should be securely shared with Congress. Her claim, she didn't even see the complaint until December 4th, 2025, when IG Fox told her she needed to provide security guidance. Argument 4. Highly classified material must be secured. Whistleblower complaints that contain highly classified and compartmented intelligence, even if they contain baseless allegations like this one, must be secured in a safe, which the Biden-era Inspector General Tamara Johnson did and her successor, Inspector General Chris Fox, continued to do. Her claim, keeping it in a safe, was legally required, not a cover-up. Argument 5. The 21-day rule doesn't apply. When a complaint is not found to be credible, there is no timeline under the law for the provision of security guidance. The 21-day requirement that Senator Warner alleges I did not comply with only applies when a complaint is determined by the Inspector General to be both urgent and apparently credible. That was not the case here. Her claim, since the IG determined the complaint wasn't credible, no legal deadline applied. Argument 6. She acted immediately in December. I took immediate action to provide the security guidance to the Intelligence Community Inspector General, who then shared the complaint and referenced intelligence with relevant members of Congress last week. Her claim, as soon as she was notified in December that guidance was needed, she acted quickly. Argument 7. Warner is lying. Either Warner knows these facts and is intentionally lying to the American people, or he doesn't have a clue how these things work and is therefore not qualified to be in the U.S. Senate. Her claim, Warner either knows she's innocent and is lying for political gain, or he's incompetent. Argument 8. Politically motivated. Warner has been spreading lies and baseless accusations over the months for political gain, which undermines our national security and is a disservice to the American people and the intelligence community. Her claim, this is all political theater by Democrats trying to undermine Trump's administration, analyzing Gabbard's defense. Strong points. Inspector General possession. It's true that IGs are responsible for securing complaints. Classification requirements. Highly classified material must be kept in safes. Legal interpretation. There's ambiguity about whether non-credible complaints have deadlines. December action. She did act relatively quickly once notified she needed to provide guidance. Weak points. 8-month delay. Even if technically legal, why so long? Partial credibility. IG said, some allegations aren't credible, but others are undetermined. December notification. Why did it take until December for someone to tell her she needed to act? Aggressive tone. Calling Warner a liar and questioning his qualifications seems defensive. No explanation of allegations. She calls them baseless, but won't say what they are. The propaganda media attack, Gabbard calling mainstream media propaganda media, is straight from the Trump playbook. It's a dismissive term designed to undermine media credibility. Rally the MAGA base. Avoid engaging with substance of allegations. Frame this as partisan witch hunt. The problem with her defense. Gabbard wants us to believe she's director of national intelligence, top intelligence official. A whistleblower filed a complaint against her in May. She had no idea about it for 7 months. Nobody told her until December. She never asked about it. She acted immediately once notified. That strains credibility. If you're DNI and someone files a whistleblower complaint against you, wouldn't you immediately want to know? What are the allegations? Are they credible? What's the process for addressing them? When will Congress be notified? The idea that she didn't even ask about it for 7 months is hard to believe. My assessment, Gabbard's defense is technically plausible but suspicious. Either she genuinely didn't know, which suggests lack of awareness of complaints against her. She knew but didn't push for disclosure, which suggests intentional delay. She knew and actively delayed it, which suggests cover-up. None of these options look good for someone who's supposed to be overseeing the entire intelligence community. Now let's look at how Democrats and Republicans are responding, because this is breaking along party lines. Senator Mark Warner's response. After Gabbard's statement, Warner's office told Fox News, Gabbard's post was an inaccurate attack that's entirely on brand for someone who has already and repeatedly proven she's unqualified to serve as DNI. Translation, Warner is doubling down, calling Gabbard unqualified and saying her attack is typical of her incompetence. Warner's position, Warner is senior Democrat on Senate Intelligence Committee. He has top-level security clearance, has seen the complaint, has access to classified details we don't, is in position to know if laws were violated. So when Warner says there was intentional delay, he's not speculating. He's seen the evidence. Republican support for Gabbard. Republicans on House and Senate Intelligence Committees are backing Gabbard. Senator Tom Cotton, R. Arkansas. Cotton posted on X, "I have reviewed this whistleblower complaint and the Inspector General handling of it. I agree with both Inspectors General who have evaluated the matter. The complaint is not credible, and the Inspectors General and the DNI took the necessary steps to ensure the material has handled and transmitted appropriately in accordance with law." Cotton continued, "To be frank, it seems like just another effort by the president's critics in and out of government to undermine policies that they don't like. It's definitely not credible allegations of waste, fraud, or abuse." Cotton's argument, he's seen the complaint. It's not credible. This is political. Gabbard followed the law. The partisan divide. Democrats say Gabbard violated the law. She tried to bury the complaint. 8-month delay is suspicious. She's covering something up. Republicans say complaint is not credible. No legal violation occurred. This is political witch hunt. Democrats are undermining intelligence community. Who's telling the truth? Both Warner and Cotton have seen the classified complaint. They're reaching opposite conclusions. Possible explanations. Option 1. They're both being honest but interpreting ambiguous facts differently. Option 2. One or both is lying for political reasons. Option 3. The truth is somewhere in between. Some concerning allegations, some not credible. The public's problem. We can't judge for ourselves because the complaint is classified. We have to trust politicians who have obvious partisan incentives to spin this their way. Democrats want to discredit Gabbard show. Trump appointed someone unqualified. Undermine intelligence community under Trump. Find wrongdoing to investigate. Republicans want to defend Gabbard, protect Trump's appointment, dismiss his partisan attacks, avoid investigations. So we're stuck trusting people with agendas. Tulsi Gabbard's controversial background. This isn't the first time Gabbard's intelligence work has been controversial. Syria trip. In 2017, as a congresswoman, Gabbard took an unauthorized trip to Syria and met with dictator Bashar al-Assad. She was criticized for not clearing trip with House leadership meeting with a brutal dictator accused of war crimes appearing to legitimize Assad regime, potentially compromising intelligence sources, Russia connections. Gabbard has been accused, though not proven, of being too favorable to Russia. Opposed arming Ukraine. Echoed some Russian talking points, praised Putin on occasion, questioned U.S. intelligence assessments. These controversies led some Democrats to question whether she should be DNI. The confirmation battle. Gabbard's confirmation as DNI was contentious. Democrats raised concerns about loyalty to Trump over intelligence community, willingness to politicize intelligence, questionable judgment on national security. Potential conflicts of interest. She was confirmed by Republican majority, but barely. Now, a whistleblower complaint against her validates Democrats' worst fears. Trump's support. Trump has fully backed Gabbard throughout this. He appointed her to the most sensitive intelligence position, trusts her completely, defends her against criticism, would likely fire anyone who goes after her, so Gabbard has Trump's protection, which makes oversight difficult. My analysis. The fact that this is breaking along pure party lines makes it impossible to know the truth. Democrats have incentive to exaggerate, Republicans have incentive to minimize, but the underlying facts are troubling. A whistleblower filed a complaint. It sat for 8 months. Gabbard admits she reviewed it in December. She still hasn't explained what the allegations are. Even if technically legal, this doesn't pass the smell test. Let's talk about what this whistleblower complaint reveals and what happens next. The national security implications. Whatever Gabbard is accused of involves grave damage to national security if disclosed. That means this potentially involves classified intelligence operations, foreign intelligence relationships, covert operations, sensitive sources and methods, critical national security programs. If the allegations are true, even partially, this is serious. Possible scenarios. Since we don't know what the allegations are, here are possibilities. Scenario 1. Improper disclosure. Gabbard shared classified information improperly. Could be with Trump associates, could be with foreign contacts, could be with unauthorized personnel. Scenario 2. Abuse of authority. Gabbard used her DNI position improperly. Could involve political favors, could involve personal gain, could involve covering up wrongdoing. Scenario 3. Foreign contacts. Gabbard had inappropriate contact with foreign governments. Could be Russia, given her history. Could be Syria, given Assad meeting. Could be others. Scenario 4. Intelligence manipulation. Gabbard manipulated intelligence assessments for political purposes. Could involve exaggerating threats, could involve minimizing threats, could involve serving Trump's political interests over accuracy. All of these would be extremely serious for a director of national intelligence. What happens next? Congressional investigation. Senate Intelligence Committee will likely investigate whether Gabbard violated whistleblower protection laws, whether the delay was intentional, whether the allegations have merit, whether Gabbard should remain as DNI Inspector General review. The IG who determined some allegations aren't credible, but others are undetermined needs to complete that determination. Potential outcomes. Best case for Gabbard. IG determines all remaining allegations are not credible. Investigation clears her. She remains as DNI Democrats look partisan. Worst case for Gabbard. IG determines some allegations are credible. Evidence of wrongdoing emerges. Calls for resignation or firing, potential criminal referral. Most likely, inconclusive findings. Partisan fighting continues. Gabbard remains in position. Issue becomes 2026 campaign topic. The Trump factor. Trump will protect Gabbard no matter what. He appointed her, trusts her completely, won't fire her unless absolutely forced, will attack anyone who goes after her. So even if allegations are proven, Gabbard probably keeps her job unless Republicans turn on her. The precedent. This situation mirrors previous intelligence controversies. Edward Snowden, NSA whistleblower. Chelsea Manning, military whistleblower. Reality winner, NSA whistleblower. Trump, Ukraine whistleblower. All involved sensitive intelligence, political controversy, and questions about whether whistleblowers were heroes or leakers. My honest take, we don't have enough information to know if Gabbard did something wrong, but the process has been deeply flawed. 8-month delay is unacceptable, regardless of legality. Gabbard's aggressive defensiveness raises red flags. Republicans' unanimous defense before investigation suggests partisanship. Democrats' unanimous condemnation before facts suggest partisanship. The American people deserve to know what the allegations are, at least generally, whether they have merit, whether laws were violated, whether Gabbard should remain as DNI right now. We're in the dark while politicians with agendas fight over classified information we can't see. That's not how oversight should work. All right, let me bring this entire story together. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard is under fire after a whistleblower complaint against her sat in a safe for 8 months before reaching Congress, violating the apparent 21-day requirement. Senator Mark Warner accuses Gabbard of trying to bury the complaint, while Gabbard fired back, calling Warner a liar and claiming she never possessed the complaint and couldn't have hidden it. Here are the key takeaways. First, a U.S. intelligence official filed a highly classified whistleblower complaint against Gabbard in May 2025, alleging wrongdoing so sensitive that disclosure could cause grave damage to national security. Second, the complaint sat in a safe for 8 months and only reached congressional intelligence committees in January 2026, despite a law requiring transmission within 21 days. Third, Gabbard claims she never possessed the complaint, that inspector generals had it, and she only saw it in December when asked to provide security guidance for sharing with Congress. Fourth, Gabbard argues the 21-day requirement doesn't apply because the inspector general determined the complaint wasn't both urgent and credible, though some allegations remain undetermined. Fifth, Senator Mark Warner says Gabbard violated the law and tried to bury the complaint, calling the 8-month delay an obvious attempt at cover-up. Sixth, Republicans, including Senator Tom Cotton, back Gabbard, saying they've reviewed the complaint and it's not credible, but rather a political attack by Democrats. Seventh, neither the contents of the complaint nor specific allegations have been publicly revealed due to extreme classification, leaving the public unable to judge for themselves. Eighth, this breaks along pure party lines, with Democrats demanding investigation and Republicans dismissing as partisan witch hunt, making truth nearly impossible to determine. Do you believe Gabbard's explanation that she never had the complaint? Does an 8-month delay seem like a cover-up, regardless of technical legality? Should whistleblower complaints against senior officials be made public? Is this a legitimate national security concern or political theater? Drop your honest thoughts in the comments below. And if you want coverage of intelligence community scandals and government cover-ups, hit that subscribe button. I'm Marcus Reed with Senate Decoded, breaking down the secrets they don't want you to know. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.